For most of the 20th century, buying a home was simple. A typical house cost around 3 times the typical household income. With a few years of saving, almost anyone could buy a place. Today, that world has disappeared. A global study of 95 major cities found that not one is considered affordable anymore. Across these cities, the average home now costs over 5 times household income. In places like Hong Kong, Sydney, and Vancouver, the gap reaches 9, 10, even 14 times income. And in parts of Beijing and Shanghai, price-to-income ratios exceed 20 or even 30 times. The result is predictable. People delay having kids, reject better jobs because moving is too expensive, and younger generations give up on saving altogether. Meanwhile, the workers who keep cities running, teachers, nurses, tradespeople, can't afford to live in them. So how did this happen? Where things broke? Every year, Chapman University publishes the Demographia Housing Affordability Report, using a measure called the median multiple, home price divided by annual household income. A healthy market sits at 3. This year, for the first time in the report's history, none of the 95 cities were affordable. 12 hit a new category, impossibly unaffordable, more than 9 times income. Hong Kong leads at 14.4, Sydney at 13.8, followed by Los Angeles, San Jose, and Vancouver. Zoom out and whole countries are now locked in the same trend. The UK average is 5.6, roughly double the 1990s. Australia is close to 10 times income. Canada has seen affordability fall since the mid-2000s. Even the US, traditionally cheaper, has risen from 3.9 to 4.8 since the pandemic. Just 30 years ago, nearly all of these markets sat near sustainable levels. Why prices detached from reality? 3 major shifts collided. 1. Homes became financial assets. Wealthy households, foreign investors, pension funds, and corporations poured money into real estate because it's safe, limited, and easy to leverage. In the US alone, institutional investors now own hundreds of thousands of single-family homes. 2. Governments restricted supply. Zoning limits, height caps, parking requirements, and slow approvals created policy-made scarcity. Prices no longer reflected bricks and labor. They reflected how little new housing was allowed to be built. 3. Wages stagnated while costs exploded. In many Western countries, real wages have barely grown in 20 years, while home prices have doubled or tripled. Instead of making homes more affordable, dual-income households simply allowed sellers to charge more. Debt grew, banks kept lending, and prices kept rising. The pandemic magnified everything. Supply chains broke, building costs soared, and homeowners locked into ultra-low mortgages refused to move, freezing supply. The human impact renters in cities like London, Los Angeles, and Sydney now spend 30–35% of their income just to keep a roof over their heads. The average first-time buyer is now in their late 30s or early 40s, a decade older than previous generations. And as people leave major cities for cheaper towns, what economists call counter-urbanization, the most productive places lose the very workers that keep them functioning. Productivity slows, inequality deepens, and existing homeowners get wealthier simply by doing nothing. Globally, real estate is now worth around 3.5 times the world's GDP, a store of wealth built on scarcity, not productivity. Can this be fixed? Some countries are experimenting. New Zealand forces cities to zone enough land for 30 years of housing demand. California and Minneapolis ended single-family zoning to allow duplexes and small flats. Singapore treats housing as infrastructure. Nearly 90% of households own their homes thanks to large-scale public building. Wales taxes second homes heavily, and Taiwan taxes quick flips up to 45%. Dutch cities restrict investors from buying starter homes. The US is debating a law to stop hedge funds from owning single-family homes entirely. All of these approaches point to the same truth. You can't fix housing without increasing supply and tackling speculation. If homes remain primarily investment vehicles, affordability will never return. If you enjoyed the episode and want to see more, don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next one.